Welcome back to Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man. Today we're going to be modifying one of our Zone Mortalis wall sections. So what we're going to need to start with is our 5 pieces that make up the Zone Mortalis wall. We're going to be using the double wall section here. And then of course we're going to need hobby knife, surface to hobby on, a little bit of glue, and so basically just some assorted bits, whatever you feel like you're going to need. I'm going to be using a little piece of this section right here. And essentially what I had kind of envisioned is taking this piece right here and cutting out that portion right there, taking out like the center, and then putting the mesh over it, and essentially having it be like the front desk of like the headquarters of basically the precinct. So then behind it, I was thinking I would basically have like some various monitors and a couple of chairs. Essentially, like that was the front desk of the precinct if you were to walk into it. So we're gonna get started by just cutting out that section right here and see where that puts us at. So now here we've gone around and scored this entire section of the panel right for the part that we want to cut out for the mesh to go in place. So we're just gonna finish cutting that through here, just very carefully. Plastic is thick and hard to cut through. There we go. And now, so we just basically just cut out this section right here, and then the idea is that when we have the 2 chairs sitting back here, and then we're going to modify like the little monitor screens so that essentially that would be like the front desk, and you would be walking into like the room and approaching it, and you basically would be greeted by these 2 people, the HQ, like the patrolman's headquarters, main station. So essentially now what we're going to do is we're going to take I have like this mesh plastic, and we're going to take that, and then we're going to build cut out a piece of that, and then we're going to attach it to the back of this, and then we essentially have like that metal mesh, and then they're going to be sitting behind there, like obviously protected. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a piece of this and kind of get it all set up. Alright, so now we have it all cut out and cleaned up the area. We have our little meshing cut out and cleaned up around the edges as well, and it's the correct size to fit. We're going to attach it on the inside exactly where the cutout is. Yeah, that'll give us like the mesh look for like the greeting desk there. And then we're going to actually take some of, I think these computer screens here are pretty cool, and I'm going to attach one on top of the other like that to get like a little like screen monitor setup. And then I'm going to do like 2 or 3 of those, and then attach those onto like the back here at eye level, and then the chairs would be sitting at it, basically like monitoring this or whatever at the greeting desk. Alright, and there we have it all finished. We added just some basic details on it to make it stand out. I did trim down one of the little monitor setups and put it on the front here for check-in for anybody walking into the front desk. And then around back here, as you can see, we can pop this guy off here. And as you can see, we basically have our monitors and everything on the inside here, as well as the keyboards and everything. A couple little bolters back below here, and you can continue adding in any detail that you want along the way. You do just have to make sure that you're not going to interfere with any of the portions or anything here. But the cool idea behind this is that essentially it turns a wall into, instead of just like dead space, it gives you a little something on the other side. So in a scenario where you had like a couple of the pillars on either side or whatever, and then this would be like the entrance check-in area, and you have like a couple little sliding doors or whatever. Once you get okay, they let you through to the next area. Somebody comes and escorts you, etc. But that's the idea behind it. You could do it also as like a trading post or like a pawn shop, like we had talked about before. Essentially the sky's the limit. You could load it up with a bunch of like little weapons racks or something like that if you wanted. There are tons of options. It's super cool. So this is basically what I had pictured without getting too involved. As you can see, you have like your little computer screens and everything, and your chairs. You can see through the mesh here. Obviously, people could enter into the precinct back here, and then if they had to lock it down, obviously they have controls of the doors, and then whoever it is trapped in this little screening area. But if you do check out, they will access one of like the little side doors here, and then they can like escort you, into the building here, etc. So, just something like that basically. Or in a situation where you just had it be like the outside wall of just something, and you could have a couple of people back here, and then you could have like walls of weapons or ammunition, medical supplies, corpse starch. Sky's the limit. But basically, it's just the creation of like, your own little trading post. And that's all it's supposed to be. It's just essentially like a way to use the wall in an interactive way. And I still glued the sides onto the wall so that it sits in place and keeps everything like spaced perfectly. But you do have essentially just like your modified piece now that you can do whatever you want with. And then if it was on the other side, obviously we can just kind of slide it down in there. From the other side, essentially that's what you're gonna see, and you would just see basically whoever's on the other side make your trades or whatever, and then move on. But that's it. We just did like essentially just a little minimal modification with a couple of spare bits and some clean cuts, able to create like your front desk, your trading post, your pawn shop, whatever you want to do. But it's just a way that you can modify some of your pieces to do something a little bit different.